time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
What's up, guys? My name is Brendan, and today I want to talk to you about knee stability and injury prevention. First, I'm going to talk about how important your knees are for the sport of tricking. Then I'm going to talk about how you can use strength and flexibility to make your knees more stable and prevent future injury. Finally, I'm going to talk to you guys about how you can use cyclic loading to decrease the recovery time of knee injuries. So with that said, let's get started. First, I want to talk about how important your knees are for the sport of tricking. Not only is tricking extremely lower body dominant, but your knees are beneath you, supporting you the entire time you're tricking. If your knees are wobbly, weak, and unstable, you're gonna really struggle when learning this sport. So if you want to be a good tricking athlete, you need to be holistic and train every part of your body. Not only should you be training your hips, your ankles, your arms, your shoulders, but also your knees. Every part matters, and if you want to be a strong tricker, you need a strong body. Now, I want to talk to you about my knee injury and go over a little bit of my experience. You see, unfortunately, I am far too familiar with traumatic knee injuries. About 3 years ago, I tore my ACL, meniscus, and ruined a bunch of the cartilage in my knee. After that, I had to spend a year recovering, doing physical therapy, and rebuilding my progression from the ground up. If you guys are a tricking athlete, be careful with your health and be careful with your body. You only get one. And this knee injury ruined my right knee for pretty much the rest of my life. That said, it taught me so much. And now my knee is pretty strong and stronger than most other people's. So with that said, let me talk to you guys about how you can use strength and flexibility to recover from knee injuries and prevent them in the future. Next, I want to talk to you about the importance of knee strength. Your knee strength directly correlates to your knee stability. If the muscles surrounding your knee joint are very weak, they're going to be very wobbly and not be strong and stable as you're tricking. So if you want to be a good tricking athlete with strong and stable joints, you need to be conditioning the muscles surrounding your knees. But it's pretty simple. Here are some of my favorite exercises. The first exercise that I want to show you is the full range squat. To do a full range squat, you stand with your legs about shoulder width apart, and then you squat through your full range of motion, trying to get your heels on the ground and your butt as low as you can. If you can do a nice full range squat, that shows your knees have a lot of stability. Not only that, but if you're struggling to do the squat because of inflexibility to where you're not able to get your butt low or your heels on the ground, you need to work on your knee mobility. And that's what I'm going to be focusing on later, after I go over a few more exercises. But if you want to help your knees and condition them to be strong and stable, while also focusing a little bit on your recovery, do a ton of full range squats. Exercise number 2 is the pistol squat. The full range squat did a great job of working our knee mobility, but if we want to improve that stability, one of the best things we can do is the pistol squat. To do a pistol squat, you just balance on one leg and then you squat down and up using your full range of motion. As you do this squat, you're on one leg, so all the muscles surrounding your leg have to fire to keep you balanced. If your muscles aren't working as you're doing the pistol squat, you'll just fall over. But the more pistol squats you do, the better you'll train that stability, so that way you're able to do them nice and easy through the full range of motion and using that knee. A little fun fact is when I tore my ACL, one of the prerequisites to me tricking again was to be able to perform a full, smooth pistol squat on my post-ACL knee. The third exercise that I want to show you is the jump squat. The full range squat did a great job of training our mobility. The pistol squat helped improve our knee stability, but the jump squat is training our strength and our ability to withstand tension. You see, whenever you jump for a skill or land one, your knees take a lot of pressure. The pressure of your muscles fighting gravity to slow you down or to launch you into the air. And your knees need to get used to that. They need to get that pressure consistently and safely in a way that isn't just crashing on tricks. And one of the best ways you can do that is to just do a ton of jump squats, jumping through your full range of motion, extending your knees, and then landing nice and soft. If you can get your knees strong, stable, and get those landings soft, that will directly translate to your tricking and your knees will be far safer. Next, I want to talk to you about the importance of knee flexibility. And when I say knee flexibility, I don't mean the flexibility of the actual knee joint. What I mean is the muscles surrounding it. You see, a lot of the times when an athlete experiences overuse or traumatic injury in their knees, it's often due to tightnesses surrounding them. For example, if my hamstring and glute are extremely tight, that's going to be pulling on my quad and my patella tendon and might cause jumper's knee. Now that's just one example, but if you guys want to take care of your knees and take care of your body, you need to be stretching. And if you stretch the muscles surrounding your knee, it is one of the best things you can do to prevent future injury. Our first stretch is going to be a hamstring stretch. And if you didn't know, your hamstring is the muscle that lies on the back of your thigh. If you have a very tight hamstring, that's going to be pulling on your knee joint, and that causes a lot of tension and discomfort. You can relieve a lot of that just by stretching your hamstring. In a nice pike stretch, reaching your arms forward and trying to relax your body. Our second knee stretch is going to be a quad stretch. And to stretch your quad, it's pretty simple. You just grab one foot off the ground and you pull it into your butt as you try and keep your knees together. The importance of the quad stretch is extremely high, just like the hamstring stretch. You see, our goal with stretching our quad and hamstring is to stretch the muscles that control and moderate the movement in our knee. You see, your quad is responsible for contracting and extending your knee joint, while your hamstring is responsible for bringing your knee joint in when it contracts. If you stretch both of these muscles, your knee joint will be far healthier than if you just let them be. Not only that, but stretching the muscles surrounding your knee is one of the best things you can do to prevent overuse injuries. The third stretch that I want to talk about is the splits. You see, the splits are extremely beneficial for keeping a healthy knee joint. Let me explain. When we did the quad stretch and the hamstring stretch earlier, we did a great job of focusing on the two primary muscles that move our knee joint. But there are a ton of other muscles there, muscles on the side of our knees that help us control our stability. And we can stretch those out by doing splits and split turns. Not only that, but the split and the split turn is also a great exercise for stretching your hamstring and your quad. So if you do all of these, your knee should feel a lot better. Finally, I want to talk to you about cyclic loading. Let me explain what I mean. You see, there is a piece of tissue within your knee called your meniscus, and it acts like a sponge, lubricating the joint and padding your two bones. But if you're on your knees all day, just standing with an extension, your meniscus will be squeezed tight, relieving it of all the fluid that is super important for lubricating the joint. If you stand on your knees all day and then train, you're far more likely to injure your knees than if you stood on them, waited an hour for the fluid to build back up, and then trained on them. When it comes to cyclic loading, the big thing to be aware of is to not train for a huge duration of time and to be wary of that knee joint. If your knee has just pressure constantly, it will eventually wear down. All of the fluid will be pushed out and you'll just have bone on bone. That is extremely uncomfortable. So take time, breaks between sessions, so that way your legs can recover and your knees can be healthy. If you don't do any cyclic loading and you're just constantly on your knees, they're going to wear down. You only get one body, so please take care of it. Thank you so much for watching, and a special thank you to all of the patrons of Mastering Tricking. You see, this project, this channel, is funded in part by donations from viewers just like you. So if you want to get personal contact with me, discount codes, and a ton of other rewards, please check out my Patreon. Not only that, but when you support, you are investing in me creating content just like this. But thank you again, and have a lovely day.